Have you ever felt like something is missing? Like no matter what you achieve, buy, or accomplish, is it never quite enough? You scroll through your phone and everyone seems happier, more successful, more complete than you. You work harder, chase more goals, yet that whisper inside keeps saying, "You're not there yet. You're not enough." What if I told you this feeling, this deep sense of incompleteness, isn't real? What if it's not your truth, but a story you've been told so many times you started believing it? Today we're going to explore a profound shift in thinking rooted in ancient Buddhist wisdom. A shift so simple, yet so powerful, it has the potential to change everything. This isn't about adding more to your life, it's about recognizing what was always there. Take a breath, settle in, and let's discover together the truth that sets you free. Part 1. The Illusion of Incompleteness. Understanding Societal Conditioning. Let me begin with a story. There once was a beggar who lived on the streets of a bustling city. Every day he sat on the same corner, a small wooden bowl in his hands, asking passers-by for coins. His clothes were torn, his face weathered by years of hardship. He believed himself to be the poorest man in the world. One day, a traveling monk passed by and sat beside him. "Why do you beg?" the monk asked gently. The beggar looked at him confused. "Because I have nothing. I am incomplete. I lack everything." The monk smiled softly. "What are you sitting on?" "Just an old box," the beggar replied. "It's worthless." "Have you ever looked inside?" The beggar paused. In all his years he had never once opened the box. It had simply been there. He pried it open, and inside, to his absolute shock, were gold coins, enough to live comfortably for the rest of his life. He had been sitting on a treasure all along. The monk stood to leave, but turned back with these words: "You were never incomplete. You only believed you were." Does this resonate with you? We live in a world that constantly tells us we are not enough, not successful enough, not beautiful enough, not happy enough, not enlightened enough. Turn on the television, open social media, flip through a magazine. Everywhere the message is the same: you are lacking. But buy this, achieve that, look like them, and maybe, just maybe, you'll finally be whole. The Buddha taught, all suffering arises from attachment and craving. But what are we craving? Completeness, worthiness, acceptance. And here's the truth. This sense of incompleteness is not natural. It is manufactured. It is not something you were born with. A child does not wake up thinking, "I am not enough." A baby does not compare itself to other babies. This feeling, this relentless inner critic, is learned. It is conditioned. It is the result of years of external programming. Think about it for a moment. When did you first feel like you weren't enough? Perhaps it was a comment from a parent, a comparison at school, a rejection that stung deeper than it should have. Or maybe it crept in slowly, year after year, message after message, until it became the background noise of your life. Societal narratives, media messages, cultural expectations, they all work together to create a story. And that story says, "You are broken, but we have the fix." The advertising industry thrives on this. Every commercial is designed to create a problem you didn't know you had, then sell you the solution. Social media amplifies it 1,000-fold. Everyone's highlight reel becomes your measuring stick. It's a cycle designed to keep you searching, buying, striving, never resting. But Buddhism offers a different path. It whispers a radical truth. You were whole from the beginning. The Heart Sutra teaches us, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. The forms we chase, success, beauty, status, are inherent meaning. We give them meaning. We create the lack by believing in it. Your wholeness doesn't depend on external validation. It never did. Part 2. A Zen story. The moon in the water. Let me share another story, one told by Zen masters for centuries. A young monk named Kyo was obsessed with enlightenment. He meditated for hours, read every sutra, and followed every rule. He fasted, he prayed, he prostrated until his knees were bruised. Yet peace eluded him. The harder he chased it, the further it seemed. One evening his master found him sitting by a pond, staring at the reflection of the moon on the water. "What are you doing?" the master asked. "I am trying to catch the moon," Kyo said, reaching into the water again and again, only for the reflection to scatter and reform. "I see it right there, but every time I grasp for it, it disappears." The master sat beside him, silent for a long moment. Then he pointed upward. "The moon you seek has always been in the sky. You've been chasing a reflection." Kyo looked up. There it was, full, radiant, whole. It had never moved. He had simply been looking in the wrong place. The master continued, "Enlightenment is not something you attain. It is something you realize was always yours. You've been chasing reflections, achievements, validation, perfection. But your true nature, your Buddha nature, has always been here. It is not in the future. It is not in some perfect version of yourself. It is here, now, as you are." Kyo's eyes filled with tears. Not of sadness, but of recognition. He had been whole all along. He had been the moon, mistaking himself for the reflection. How many of us are like Kyo, chasing reflections, grasping at images of success, beauty, and happiness created by the world around us? Meanwhile, the real source, the real moon, rests quietly within. We chase the reflection of happiness in material possessions, the reflection of worth in other people's opinions, the reflection of peace in external circumstances. But reflections are not real. They shimmer and shift with conditions. Your true nature does not depend on conditions. It simply is. The Buddha said, "Look within, you are the Buddha." Not someday, not after more meditation, more self-improvement, more accomplishments. Now, you are already whole. This is not arrogance. This is the truth. Buddha nature is not something you earn. It is what you are beneath all the conditioning, beneath all the stories. Part 3. Modern life and the trap of comparison, a real-world example. Let me bring this into your daily life with a story you might recognize. Imagine Sarah. She's 32, a marketing manager at a mid-sized company. On paper, her life looks good. She has an apartment, a stable income, and close friends. But inside, she feels empty. Every morning starts the same way. Her alarm goes off. Before she even gets out of bed, her hand reaches for her phone. She scrolls through Instagram. Her college friend just got engaged. A former co-worker posted about their promotion. A fitness influencer shows off their perfect life. And quietly, almost unconsciously, a voice whispers, "You're falling behind. You're not doing enough. You're not enough." At work, she second-guesses every email. Does she sound smart enough? Professional enough? During lunch, a colleague mentions their weekend trip to Bali. Sarah smiles and nods, but inside, the comparison machine spins. When was the last time I traveled somewhere nice? What's wrong with my life? One day, her manager gives her critical feedback on a project. It's constructive, not harsh, but Sarah takes it personally. "I'm not good enough. Everyone else is doing better than me." Later that afternoon, a co-worker snaps at her over something minor. Sarah's stomach drops. What did I do wrong? Maybe there's something fundamentally broken in me. She spirals. That night she couldn't sleep. Anxiety grows. She doom scrolls until 2 a.m., feeling worse with every swipe. But then, something shifts. One morning, after another sleepless night, Sarah remembers something she once heard about Buddhism. A simple teaching. People's actions are shaped by their past experiences and circumstances, not by who they are. She pauses. She breathes. She thinks about her coworker who snapped. What if it wasn't about her at all? What if that person was dealing with stress she knew nothing about? A sick parent, financial pressure, depression. What if their reaction had nothing to do with her worth and everything to do with their pain? In that moment, something shifts. Compassion arises, not just for the colleague, but for herself. She stops scrolling. She deletes Instagram from her phone. She starts meditating, even just 5 minutes in the morning, and she asks herself a radical question. What if I am already enough? What if nothing is missing? And in the silence, she feels it. A softening. Peace. The Buddha taught in the Dhammapada, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. When your mind is trained by society to see lack, you will always find it. But when you train your mind to see wholeness, everything changes. If this message is resonating with you, if you're beginning to feel that shift, I invite you to subscribe to Buddha Coha. This channel is dedicated to bringing you healing wisdom, practical Buddhist teachings, and stories that remind you of your true nature. Hit that subscribe button and join our community of peace seekers. Let's walk this path together. Part 4. The Root of Suffering, Understanding the Fluctuating Mind. Now, let's go deeper into why this sense of incompleteness feels so real. The Buddha described the untrained mind as a wild horse, restless, reactive, pulled in every direction by external stimuli. One moment we feel happy because someone liked our post. Next, we feel anxious because we didn't get a response. This constant fluctuation is exhausting, and it's suffering. This is what the Buddha called dukkha, often translated as suffering, but more accurately understood as unsatisfactoriness, a pervasive sense that something is always off, always incomplete. And here's the key. This fluctuation is not who you are. It is simply the untrained mind responding to conditioning. Think of it like waves on the ocean. The surface is always moving, rising, falling, crashing. A storm comes and the waves grow violent. The wind calms and they settle. If you identify with the waves, you will always feel unstable. You will always be at the mercy of conditions. But beneath the waves, in the depths of the ocean, there is stillness, there is peace. Your thoughts, emotions, comparisons, they are the waves. But your true nature, your Buddha nature, is the depth. It is unchanging, it is whole. The feeling of incompleteness arises not because you are incomplete, but because your mind has been conditioned to focus on the waves and forget the ocean. Part 5. Compassion as the key, seeing beyond the surface. Here's where the transformation truly begins. When you understand that everyone is shaped by their past experiences, circumstances, and conditioning, something miraculous happens. You stop taking things personally. Someone cuts you off in traffic. They're rushing, stressed, maybe facing an emergency. It's not about you. A loved one lashes out. They're carrying wounds from experiences you know nothing about. It's not about you. Is a stranger rude? They're struggling with burdens you can't see. It's not about you. The Buddha said, hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule. When you recognize that people act not from conscious malice, but from unconscious conditioning, compassion arises naturally. And with compassion comes freedom. You no longer need to defend yourself against a world you perceive as hostile. You begin to see it as it truly is. A world full of beings searching for peace, shaped by stories they didn't choose. Let me share a story that illustrates this beautifully. A Zen master was insulted by a passerby. The man shouted curses, mocked him, and tried to provoke a reaction. The master simply smiled and continued walking. A student, confused, asked, "Master, why did you not respond? Were you not angry?" The master replied, "If someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The student paused. "It belongs to the one who offered it." "Exactly," the master said. "He offered me anger. I did not accept. So it remains his." What gifts are you accepting that were never meant for you? What judgments, criticisms, comparisons are you carrying that you could simply set down? Part 6. Realizing your inherent wholeness, the shift in thinking. So how do we make this shift in our actual daily lives? It begins with a single recognition. You are not your thoughts. You are not your conditioning. You are not the stories the world has told you. You are the awareness beneath it all. You are the sky, not the clouds. The ocean, not the waves. Let me offer you 3 practices you can start today. Practice 1. The mindful pause. When you notice the thought, "I'm not enough," pause. Don't fight it. Don't believe it. Simply notice it. Say to yourself, "This is a thought. It is not the truth." Take 3 deep breaths. Feel your feet on the ground. Return to the present moment. Ask yourself, in this exact moment right now, am I lacking anything? In this moment, are you actually incomplete? Or are you breathing, alive, aware, whole? The incompleteness exists in thought. But in the presence there is only what is, and what is enough. Practice 2. Compassionate inquiry. When someone's behavior triggers you, pause and ask, what pain might they be carrying? What story are they living in? This doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but it shifts your perspective from "Why are they doing this to me?" to "What are they going through?" Compassion dissolves the personal sting, and in its place, peace arises. Practice 3. Daily gratitude grounding. Each morning, before reaching for your phone, take 3 breaths. Name 3 things you're grateful for. Simple things. I woke up. I can breathe. I am here. This is not toxic positivity. This is the truth. You are alive. You are here. And in this moment, you are whole. The Buddha taught, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. True peace is not found in achieving more. It is found in recognizing that you were never lacking in the first place. Part 7. Living from wholeness, the transformation. When you make this shift, when you stop believing the story of incompleteness, everything changes. You stop chasing validation. You stop needing approval. You stop comparing your journey to others. You begin to live from a place of enoughness, and from that place, everything becomes possible. Your relationships deepen because you're no longer seeking completion from others. You're offering presence instead. Your work becomes more meaningful because you're no longer performing for worth. You're contributing from overflow. Your inner world becomes calm because you're no longer at war with yourself. You become like the moon in the sky, steady, radiant, whole, no longer chasing reflections in the water. Sarah's journey continued. It wasn't linear. There were days she fell back into old patterns, But each time she noticed it sooner, each time she returned to presence more quickly. She kept her meditation practice. She journaled with compassion. She cultivated real friendships based on authenticity. And slowly, the voice that said, "You're not enough," grew quieter. In its place, a deeper knowing emerged. I am exactly where I need to be. She still faced challenges. Life didn't become perfect. But her life relationship transformed. She stopped resisting. She stopped grasping. She started trusting. And in that trust, she found peace. Part 8. Buddhist Wisdom. Timeless Truths for Modern Life. Let's anchor this shift in the words of those who walked this path before us. The Buddha said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." Read that again. You. Not the improved version of you. You, right now, exactly as you are. Thich Nhat Hanh taught, "To be beautiful means to be yourself. You don't need to be accepted by others. You need to accept yourself." The world will always have opinions. Let them. Your task is to return to your own truth. And the Dalai Lama reminds us, when you realize nothing is lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Nothing is lacking. Not in you, not in this moment. Wholeness is your nature. So, my friend, here we are. We began with a question: what if the feeling of incompleteness isn't real? And now perhaps you're beginning to see. It's not real. It never was. It was a story, a conditioned belief, a reflection in the water. But the moon, the truth of who you are, has always been shining. You are not broken. You do not need fixing. You are not behind. You are not lacking. You are whole. You are enough. You always have been. This shift in thinking, this return to your inherent wholeness, will change your life. Not because it adds something new, but because it removes what was never true. It clears the fog. It silences the noise. It brings you home. If this message touched your heart, please subscribe to Buddha Coha. We're building a community of people who are choosing peace over perfection, presence over comparison, truth over conditioning. Ring the bell so you never miss a teaching, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Your wholeness is not a destination, it's a recognition. May you see it, may you trust it, may you live from it. Until next time, breathe deeply, be kind to yourself, and remember, you are already home. Peace be with you.